this for all the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside, that's why I do this for you. I do this for my father, who I've only seen from time to time in my dreams. I do this for you. I do this for my mother, who's finally clean, no longer a fan. I do this for you. I do this for my sister, my wife and my kids, cause they part of the team. I do this for all the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside, that's why I do this for you.
I do this for the kids who sit a bit outside the mix, who maybe cope through humor just to fit in for a bit, who never let the world know when depression's setting in. To all of those who know you, that impression don't exist, and it ain't counterfeit, it's just a way to counter it. I'm living things I dreamed about, I still encounter it. It ain't something that a cigarette or alcohol can fix, but all because of it, I flipped it quick, went on to write some hits. This a success, off another breath. This the first step in searching to be nothing less than be the best in what you do to prove there's strength in being you. Learn so much in chasing dreams that I never would in school. Depends on where your passion lie, just no passion never lie. Life presents distractions, but your actions have to fortify the things that you believe in. Have to scream it like a battle cry and leave the ones who didn't looking stupid while they're asking why. Couldn't lie, I really do this for the ones I love. Those who treat the music as a vice and lyrics like a drug. Those who need advice on how to lift their spirit high enough to break out of the box they make up lives they know aren't good enough. Just because it's how it is don't mean it's how it has to be. This is what the uninspired testifiers fail to see. Jealousy results from being that which others fail to be, and if it means you're not with me, that honestly sounds fair to me.
I do this for my father, who I've only seen from time to time in my dreams. I do this for you. I do this for my mother, who's finally clean, no longer a fan. I do this for you. I do this for my sister, my wife and my kids, cause they part of the team. I do this for all the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside, that's why I do this for you.
Do this for my mother, she'll be working for the summer. Do this for my father, cause these days I often wonder what my life would have been like if I was not adopted. To grow up in a home where I was treated like a problem. I don't know, it's just a guess. Your guess probably good as mine. Lucky that I grew up in a home that wanted me to shine. Lucky that I grew up around some mountains we were taught to climb. Without that inspiration, I don't think that this would be my life. Do this for my friends who've scattered all across the country now. I'm out in Sweden walking back through life so I can write it down. Make a living off the sound, so crazy to say out loud. I'm the biggest thing since Travis Rice to come up out the town. Sorry, gotta stunt a little. Used to have my dreams belittled, but it's all a part of it. I know people's minds are fickle, lines between reality and dreams I blur like faded nights. Come up been so good for me, I wish that I could make it twice.
I do this for my father, who I've only seen from time to time in my dreams. I do this for you. I do this for my mother, who's finally clean, no longer a fan. I do this for you. I do this for my sister, my wife and my kids, cause they part of the team. I do this for all the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside, that's why I do this for you.
Yo, shout out to my pops, man. I do this for you. How's everybody doing tonight? Thank you guys for being here tonight. I know it's Thursday. It's SEC Thursday, Sunbelt Thursday. If you got questions, keep them SEC and Sunbelt related. Thank you guys for being here. We're going to talk about what's trending in the world of sports, but it's not really like that, guys. There's really not much going on in the world of sports that I want to talk about, but there is a lot of things going on in my life, and I want to share them with you guys at the beginning of the show, and then we'll get into the SEC and everything else. So, if you don't know, man, just yesterday, I found myself at the bank and the dealership, and I'm like, yo, I'm going to pay off my car note. I bought a brand new Camry last year. So, I have a very fancy Camry, an XSE, the fast one. It's all blacked out, black rims, black everything, with a red interior and some nice shit going on. Nonetheless, went ahead and bought it. I own my car. I'm so happy. Paid it in full, and I'm good. And I'm like, man, this week can't get no better. And then I get a phone call today. And it is remarkable. My military retirement has been approved. I've been requesting for this for 2 years now. If you guys don't know how it works, after you serve 10 years in the military, 10 years in the Army, you re-enlist one more time. And then it's called indefinite. You re-enlist indefinite. You don't have to re-enlist anymore. Every 3 or 4 years, they're not asking you, are you going to re-enlist or not? You don't get any more options. I re-enlisted 5 times, guys, in my military career. So 5 times in my life, I sat there and said, yup, I'm doing this. Let's go. And every time I did it for like choice of duty station, huge bonuses. I'm a cyber expert and I'm a military intelligence expert, and they just paid me out the wazoo. I can remember getting a $100,000 lump sum. It's $76,000 when it hits your account. They just pay you to re-enlist in the Army, depending on your job and how much you're valued. Now, there's going to be some infantry kid out there who's like, I never got a bonus, and I served my 4 years and I got out, all that stuff. Everybody's experience is different. Mine has always been very positive. I achieved a lot of great things early in my career. I was a Soldier of the Year very early on. I got promoted to Staff Sergeant, or E6, within 4 years, and I never looked back. I've been a platoon sergeant for the last 16 years, at least a platoon sergeant or higher, right? Because I was a first sergeant for 3 years. I'm a master sergeant today. I don't really even do anything, but I want to retire. And what happens is after you serve all your time and you start doing, I started doing something called declaration statements, DEC statements, saying, hey, I don't want to serve anymore. I don't have any desire to serve. I've reached my culmination point. And it's only because I'm eligible to retire. I'm at 20 years. I want to, quote unquote, voluntarily retire. And the Army said, nah, bro, you can't retire. You owe us more time. They tried to send me to another organization to go be a first sergeant. I refused. They wanted to send me up to D.C. I said, no, not happening. And I said, I want to retire. Let me retire. And I kept applying. And this is my third time. And it finally went up, and it got approved. I'm ecstatic. There's still some things that need to be done. But the official retirement date will be 30 November. But you see me, I usually have a beard and everything. I shaved because now that I have approval, I have to go into the retirement services tomorrow in uniform and do some paperwork and start clearing the installation and go about my life. And I want to tell you guys, I'm pretty excited about it. I couldn't be happier. And that's a pretty cool story, man, of, finishing your career out and voluntarily retiring. If I didn't do this, I could serve for like 28 years. I don't want to serve another 8 years. I'm over it. I've been over it. I want to do this. I want to be a content creator for a living, full-time, and a sports journalist. That's my primary goal. I'm not a capper. I don't know shit about gambling. I know everything about sports. The other thing I want to tell you guys is while I continue to succeed in this realm of sports journalism, I'm wading through the water filled with snakes. Snakes and sharks and people out there trying to get my resources. I want to tell you guys something. I'm independent, right? And some of you guys know I'm independent and I'm successful. And I don't mind telling you guys how I got there. I'll give you the template, but you cannot duplicate it because I am Rico. Like you're not me. You don't have the same delivery. You don't have the same work ethic. You don't have the same drive, the same ability. We're not all equal. We're all created equal. Some of us have better skill sets than others, right? I have the ability to retain information and deliver it in an uncanny manner that's just unrivaled by anyone. I know this. But let me tell you guys a true story. About 2 weeks ago, somebody reached out to me and said, hey, Rico, I need your email address. I know an agent, and I know this guy would be interested in representing you. That got me excited because, hey, man, an agent wants to represent me. Let's go. So I gave the email address, got the agent on the phone. First thing he said was, hey, stop all your affiliate deals. Stop all your willing and dealing behind the scenes. Just chill for a minute. Let's get together your portfolio, and we'll start shopping you around to various places. And I said, okay, we'll get associated with other networks and other things. And he said, yeah, man, that's what we'll do. I said, okay, man. And he said, well, let me just send you over this non-exclusive agreement. That's fine. It's a contract. There's a NDA clause in there. There's some other clauses in there. As I read it, though, I was like, man, I don't know this guy that well. I just talked to him on the phone. We had an hour-long conversation. He's sending me DMs. I said, you know what? Let me go online and check who he is and what he's about. So I look at the contract he sent me, and the contract has a mailing address, my mailing address, and his. So I go and I'm a cyber expert. I worked for the NSA for the last 12 years. I'm going to go look for this guy on the internet. And if I'm looking for you on the internet, I'm going to find you. That's what I do. And when I went and started doing open source searches and trying to find this individual, nothing. No digital footprint whatsoever. And the address came back to a suite within a hospital. So I just wrote him an email and just confronted him. And I said, hey, man, your address doesn't check out. The previous 8 businesses I called who used that address never heard of you. And his excuse was, well, you know, it's a digital office. It's something like this. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. And this guy, it seemed plausible. But I still said, no, man, here's what I want from you. I want references. You don't want to give me your clients. All your clients are on NDAs. Fine. I want references of who you are and what you do. So he gave me a very hot shot attorney, a sports attorney, an entertainment attorney from New York. He said, give him a call. He can vouch for me. I said, all right. So I gave the guy a call. Spoke to him. This man is credible. Got it. But when I spoke to this man, I did not get a warm and fuzzy. This man said, oh, well, you know, he doesn't do a website. I said, why doesn't he have a website? If you're in this field and you want to do representation and be an agent, why don't you have your own website? He said, well, he's got another daytime job. He just does this in his spare time. Okay, so if you're an agent in your spare time, that's not who I'm looking for. That's number one. And let's make this go full circle. So he sends me the contract again, some revisions, whatever it was. And so I hired an attorney and said, I want to look this over. And that appointment is approaching. I have it tomorrow. And we need to discuss some things. But I'm peeling back the curtain for you guys so you guys understand something. As we're discussing this man, this agent, sees my revenue stream because I made a video showing you guys how successful we are on YouTube with MVPs. Shout out to all the MVPs. He sees the video and he writes me a text today and he says, hey man, I was just thinking. This is supposed to be my agent who's supposed to go out and get me deals. He says, I was just thinking, maybe we can go half and half on your memberships. What are you talking about? Yeah, I'll create a website. I'll go half and half on the website so we can manage all your memberships, and then YouTube doesn't take the cut from you. Oh, yeah, YouTube takes a cut from every MVP. They manage it. They make sure you guys are up to date. But the reason I use YouTube is because it's a trusted website. People aren't going to be shy about putting their information, their payment information to a website like YouTube, as opposed to some created website called RicoKnows.com. But he thinks it's a good idea to create a new website and have everybody sign up over there. That way nobody takes a cut of the money. But then he says, yeah, we'll go 50-50. That's a bigger cut than YouTube's taking. Why are you taking my money? And why am I going to a website that it's not trusted? And why in the hell are you, a person who doesn't have a website, giving me money to start a website? Why am I going 50-50 with you to start a website when you don't even have one? This is getting financial advice from a homeless person. This is getting fitness advice from somebody who doesn't work out. Marriage advice from somebody who's never been married. This man wants to help me do a website. And I wrote him back and said, look, man, the less hands in my money, the better. I'm not interested in a partnership. And I could see him panic texting me for the next 30 minutes. Trying to soothe over the relationship. Dude, the relationship's severed, bro. I'm talking about it because it's dead. Canceled my appointment with the attorney tomorrow. We don't need to read this contract. It's dead. I'm not interested in representation that sees something that I came up with on my own and it became extremely lucrative, and now you see it as an opportunity for you to make money. You want to get in half on my shit. You know how many people hit me up and say, Rico, I'd love to run your Discord server? Oh, Rico, what about this? What about this? Oh, Rico, how about I do high school film reviews for you so you don't have to do them anymore? I'll just do them all. Yeah, I'll just take a cut of this, a cut of that. Dude, everybody, step the fuck off. You create something from scratch, it means more to you. Look it up, content creators. 1% of content creators can do this for a living. 99% of content creators do not make enough revenue to do this for a living. And those 1%ers, you don't get to come out and be like, man, I've always wanted to do this. Man, how do I get started? Hey, do you need a co-host? I had a gentleman write me a message this morning, and he said, hey, would you like to be on my podcast? And the tone of his message was so sincere, so genuine, and all he wanted was 20 minutes of my time. I said yes, cleared something off my schedule, and made time for him tomorrow morning. I don't know this guy. Never seen anything about his data, his fucking content or anything, but he wrote me a message and just said, hey, Rico, I'd just like to have you on the show. 20 minutes. I don't care if it's an hour. It was genuine. It wasn't a handout. I've had people write me messages like, Rico, I got a story to tell you, but I think it's worth money. I need $1,000, and I'm going to tell you all about this scandal. I promise. All you get-rich-quick scheme people, you guys don't understand. I am the real deal. I believe in myself more than you believe in me. Self-confidence is offensive to insecure people. Prepare to be offended. I believe in myself every single day. You're not getting my shit. You're not getting anything from me. Shout out to the MVPs. You're getting my information and you're earning it. And I hope you hit it big. I want to give a shout out to all the newest MVPs right now. Shout out to Jaden Krosovic, Jonathan Ivory, Dylan Reynolds, Dweese 2008, Stephen Bruner for upgrading to MVP. Congratulations. Vendetta V2, Zachary Torgensen, Fern Berry, B. Will, Kobe Moak, Justin, Carlos Bendek. Hey, man, get away from my door, man. Shut that door. Somebody come to the door trying to sell me steaks. You don't let them see inside this house? Fuck off, man. Matt Naquit. Shout out to Matt. Earl Calloway and Anthony Sturdivant. Congratulations to all the newest MVPs. We'll get more during the show, but I wanted to give all you guys a shout out. For those of you guys on TikTok watching, and you guys all think this is fake, there's people on TikTok who think MVPs is fake, who think the locks are fake, or this is all a money grab, or this is all high. Dude, you guys are just missing out. That's all there is to it. You guys are missing out. You guys are the people who didn't download Netflix when it became a streaming service. That's what you are. All you haters, you didn't download Netflix. It's crazy. All right, let's talk about the games tonight. Let's go up. Tonight, there are 3 games on. I got to move up here to the top right, they said. 3 games on tonight. You've got Middle Tennessee at Western Kentucky. I like Western Kentucky to win this game. I really do. Middle Tennessee, I love their running back, Jaden Creedle. He's a kid here from Georgia. I like everything about his game. But Western Kentucky's supposed to have one of the best passing attacks in the country. Austin Reed did not come back for his last year to go and lose to teams like Middle Tennessee State. Shout out to the Raiders. Now, the spread is like 7 points. So, cool. I think they can win by more than 7. They played a really tough game against Troy. Troy's a quality team. I like Western Kentucky to win this game by more than 7. Temple at Tulsa, I think the under's in play. Tulsa has a great player in their secondary. Okay? Everybody, you got to go watch him. Number 1, Kadarian Ray. He's a graduate. It's his final year. Kadarian Ray is the best player on the field in this game. Shout out to E.J. Warner. That's Kurt Warner's son. He'll be the starting quarterback for Temple. He throws it everywhere. He doesn't look anything like his dad. He looks like his mom. And then the late night game, I won't talk about it. That's MVP data. Congratulations. All right. Let's get after it. Sunbelt. Louisiana at Minnesota. MVP, won't talk about it. South Alabama at JMU. All I'm going to say is I don't like this spread. I don't like this game, betting on it. I believe South Alabama's a very good team, underachieving like crazy. They have good players. Couldn't have foreseen this season the way it is. So there's a chance they could upset, and there's a chance they lose like they've been losing. Stay away from it. Arkansas State at UMass. I believe these teams are going to score. Arkansas State's offense is revitalized and revamped with their true freshman quarterback, and UMass gives up a lot of points. They also score, so don't be surprised. Marshall and Old Dominion. It's a B-level lock for me. I love Marshall to win this game. Old Dominion's offensive line is porous, if not terrible, and Marshall has the best running back in the country. None of you know. Rasheen Ali, former 1,400-yard rusher back in 2021, 23 rushing touchdowns. I talk about him every week. I'm convinced he's an NFL running back. People need to pay attention. Coastal Carolina at Georgia Southern. Give me Georgia Southern to win this game. Nothing surprising there. Troy at Georgia State. It'll be a showdown. Undefeated Georgia State going up against a very good team in Troy. Want to see what Granger can do, but it'll be a showdown. This is Georgia State's year, man. I believe in them. Texas State, Southern Miss, MVP. Won't talk about it. App State's going to beat ULM. Congratulations. Go watch Nate Noel do his thing against ULM. He's a hell of a running back. Looking at the SEC, Florida at Kentucky. Let me double check and make sure this isn't an MVP lock. It's not. I believe Kentucky has a chance to win this game. I just want to be clear that who's the favorite in this? Kentucky's the favorite? Yeah, Florida's the underdog by 2.5 points. I just think it's realistic to think that Kentucky has more offensive weapons. I'm sorry, I need something to drink. Sweetie, can you get me something to drink? Thank you. I'm sorry, guys. Something's in my throat. Pause. Texas A&M at Arkansas. I know A&M's with the backup quarterback. I don't care. A&M's probably the better team. Arkansas has been really underachieving, even though they have Jefferson, KJ Jefferson. It's just A&M's a better complete team. Kim, did you not hear me? I'm hoping she heard me. She might have me on mute. Georgia at Auburn. I think this is MVP data. Can't talk about it. Missouri at Vanderbilt. MVP data. Can't talk about it. LSU and Ole Miss. LSU's winning this game. They better. LSU better win this game. If they don't, the entire SEC is mediocre because anybody can beat anyone at that point. But LSU better go on the road and win this game. South Carolina at Tennessee. I believe. Thank you, sweetie. I need something to drink. I'm dying. I'm sorry. Were you not paying attention? Oh, okay. South Carolina at Tennessee. I apologize, guys. We're having real-world issues over here. I'm looking at Spencer Rattler being able to throw all over Tennessee. I don't even understand how Tennessee's ranked. I don't think they've done anything to warrant their ranking at all this season. It's ranking off reputation. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. Look at their schedule and what they've done. I can pull it up. Look at Tennessee and tell me, when did they perform at what warrants their ranking? The win against Virginia that anybody could get, the struggle win against Austin Peay, or the loss to Florida where they looked hapless, and then beating UTSA. Congratulations. How does this equate to a top 25 ranking? How is that more impressive than what South Carolina's done? I don't get it. Thank you, sweetie. I just don't understand Tennessee's ranking at all. I never will. It's all reputation-driven, and it's all just trying to lie and say you have a top 25 team in the SEC. They're not one. I don't believe in them. And then Bama at Mississippi State. Bama's looking like the class of the field. They know what they're doing. They got a good defense. They'll win and move into the top 10 because they'll just overvalue this win. Mississippi State sucks, but it'll happen. I don't mean to say sucks because there's kids on that team. There's young men on that team that probably shouldn't be labeled this way. So there you go. That's everything. I'm going to get into the chat now. Remember, do not repeat your questions. One question at a time. I will get to all of them. They've been loading up for the last couple minutes now. Be patient. Don't be negative. Don't be toxic. Don't repeat yourself in all questions. Must be SEC or Sunbelt related. Please don't start asking about the Pac-12, the Mountain West. You can talk about tonight's games. I don't know any spreads for NFL games. Please leave me alone with that. Just a fair warning. Shout out to the 122 people watching on TikTok. I don't see you guys. If you got any questions, comments, concerns, anything, click on the link. Go join us over at YouTube where I get paid and put it over there. Thank you very much. Let's go. Andres says, what up, Rico? Excited to talk SEC today. Very excited for the LSU-Ole Miss matchup, but I've been pretty upset with how inconsistent LSU looks from week to week. Have a great rest of your day, Rico. You know, Andres, I think they get a cold rap, man. I think they get a bad rap because they actually look pretty good every single week. It's just teams show up to play against them, and they have new holes every week. But they actually look pretty good. You're worried about their win last week? It's a tough win, but they look dominant against Mississippi State. They look dominant. I think they're getting themselves together. They just need more offensive weapons. Neighbors can't be the only guy, right? Shout out to all the new MVPs I gave a shout out to. What's up, Rico? How was your day? Like I said, man, my day was great. Screw that shady agent, but more importantly, how we doing? How we looking? I'm feeling good, man. I'm getting out there, getting ready to retire, go off into the sunset, and live a good life. Trent says, Rico, who are the backup quarterbacks for A&M? I believe they have a transfer from Fresno State. Yeah, Jalen Henderson. What do you know about him? Everything. Give me a second here, Trent. I'm going to pull something up for you. I always keep our lads open while we're on the show, and then I just have to go click on the right team. So, lucky for you, I'll pull it up. So, Texas A&M's depth chart, according to our lads. Connor Wegman out for the season. Okay. Max Johnson, the new starter. Then they have Marcel Reed, a freshman, and then Blake Boast. This isn't accurate. So, this is why you can't go to these websites, guys. This is why you can't go to these websites and trust what they're saying or doing. Everybody thinks they go to a website like this. Oh, yeah, this is accurate. This is what it is. No. Even these guys have errors. The quarterbacks at A&M are not here. Their second-string quarterback is Jalen Henderson, and he's not here. Jalen Henderson is Max Johnson's backup. I promise you. And Jalen Henderson is a transfer from Fresno State. Now, number one, he couldn't beat out Mikey Keene. Not many people can, okay? Jalen Henderson transferring to A&M really surprised me. I don't understand the transfer. I thought the young man overassessed his own talent and ability. He's not going to start. It'll be a while before he ever does, if he does. And I just don't think he's that good. He's a dual-threat quarterback. He can kind of move around, but he's a 3-star coming out of California. He played at Chaminade High School. But he was never even considered to be the starter at Fresno State. So if you can't start at Fresno State because they have Jake Haener, they have a guy named Woolridge battling out with Haener, and then this year they had Mikey Keene. They had the kid Woods from Washington. They have Fife. This guy is fourth string at Fresno State, and he transfers to Texas A&M. And due to an injury, now he's second string. I just don't think he belongs at A&M. I don't even think he's that caliber of quarterback. I really don't. You never played it down at Fresno State. You somehow transferred up to the SEC. That's what happens. When you can't start at a school, you transfer to the SEC. Yeah, look around. Graham Mertz, Hendon Hooker, Joe Milton, Jackson Dart. Just start looking around. Dudes weren't going to be able to start anymore at their old school. They're there now. It's been going on for a couple years. You want to start, you can go to the SEC and start. They don't have good quarterbacks. So, yeah, I'm surprised that they don't have the right depth chart here for A&M. Shout out to our lads. Nice website most of the time. They need me, bro. But, yeah, Jalen Henderson, dual-threat kid, 3-star. Huddle film looked good. Huddle film looked good back in the day. If I watched it. I watched it because he entered the transfer portal this offseason, and I pay attention to everybody in the transfer portal. So, yeah, there you go. That's what I know about him. Hope he doesn't have to play. Max Johnson's not bad. He's not. He's just the complete opposite, right? He's immobile and doing his thing. Mark Benevito says, what up, Mark Benevito? He says, it is Jalen Hale time at Alabama with a question mark. Well, he's the fifth string wide receiver. He's the fifth leading wide receiver on the team. Can you give us some thoughts on how you think he can impact the wide receiver room for the Crimson Tide? Mark, I made a video about it this week. on TikTok. Already talked about Hale and what he's doing and how he moved up in the chart. He's ahead of Malik Benson on the depth chart. I'd imagine, pardon me for a second. Let me see if I can do this. Hashtag Rico Knows. Hashtag, I don't know, Alabama. So if you just do a search for hashtag Rico Knows and hashtag Alabama, that's all you got to search. It'll come up like this. You put it in both of these hashtags here, Rico Knows and Alabama, right there. That video right there, posted it 1 day ago. Rico Knows breaking down Alabama's tight ends and wide receivers. I just talked about this. Talked about Hale and everybody else. Thank you for the question, but it's already been answered. Enjoy. I think he's well. He's no Isaiah Bond, but he's doing his best. Shout out to Texas. Shout out to Longview. Carlos Bendeck, how about that? Brian Yu says, fellas, good to see y'all again. Got to get into work, but I'll be listening. Keep the good work up. Starting to feel like I know these teams after you break them down in your videos. Shout out to you, Brian. Hey, great breakdown, Rico. Thank you so much. I wish I could do that on TikTok for 150,000 people so they would understand what we're seeing and doing and talking. But there's no advantage for me. There's nothing in it for me to do it for them. There really isn't. I don't make anything from those videos. That I make $20. You guys, we're talking thousands, so it's a huge difference. That's why I don't mind doing it for you guys. And are there any other players you could see coming out of nowhere in the Alabama wide receiver room? Hale is pretty off the radar in regards to Bama beat writers, etc. Yeah, so first and foremost, never trust a beat writer. They just all copy each other and don't write shit. There's nobody else in that room that I'm too ecstatic about or too excited about. Losing 6 quality transfers in the offseason really hurt the depth of the wide receiver room. So there's nobody that's going to shoot up the chart the way I'd expect it. What I would say is there are certain people like Brooks, right, like that are falling down the depth chart that probably need to either hit the portal or they could have a great game here and there. But that receiver room's a little anemic. That's how Hale was able to make it happen. So congratulations. Kamani Ross says, what's up, Rico? Thoughts on Ruben Owens, one of A&M's running backs? So he's a 5-star running back who committed to A&M. He flipped at the last second. Here's what I'll tell you guys about Ruben Owens. When you watch A&M, if any of you guys haven't seen Texas A&M this year, when you watch them on TV, when Ruben Owens gets the ball, you notice. He's just a little bit faster, a little more burst, a little more yards after contact. Everything about Ruben Owens is just a little bit better than everybody else. It's noticeable. That's an NFL running back. Just give him time. That's an NFL running back. I love Ruben Owens' game. I like the way he plays. He's a stud. He reminds me a lot of a thicker Nate Frazier. And if you guys don't know who Nate Frazier is, he's the running back at Modern Day, committed to Georgia right now. And Nate Frazier's in high school, and he's explosive. He's awesome. Go watch the tape on Ruben Owens. Go watch the tape on Nate Frazier, and you'll be like, whoa, this is real burst at running back. And that's how I feel A&M. They have a stud. So shout out to them. Shout out to Ryan Mott for becoming an MVP. Congratulations, brother. Welcome to the team. Hope you enjoy all the data, detail, and videos. Check the MVP playlist. 100% happy with my decision to join the MVP fam. Shout out to you, Air Panda. I appreciate you, man. What up? What up, Willie Bo? Evan Kramer says, done with my workout just in time for Rico 100. Shout out to you, man. Jesus Espinoza says, what do you think of Utah-Oregon State game? That is not an SEC or Sunbelt question. I talk Pac-12 on Fridays. Your friends don't know, but Don Guap knows. What's up, man? Funbelt today. Funbelt, shout out to you. New member joining. What up, Pineda? I appreciate you, Edmundo. Hello, Rico. You are one of the hardest working men on YouTube. Thank you, Don Player. I think I'm one of the hardest working people in the world. I'm not kidding. I haven't taken a day off from sports journalism since it's not going to have a day off the whole football season. I work every single day. I'm live streaming every day. All 5 days of the week. I live stream during games on Saturday, at least 9 hours, and then I live stream on Sunday. I'm streaming every day, making videos all day. I don't take a day off from work. I love my work. I'm not in the sun, but I love my work. I do take some time off to go for a jog. I do take some time off to take my girl out on a date, take my dog out for a walk. But I'm working day and night. Watch party tonight, Rico. You better believe it, Ricky Rick. I will be doing a watch party tonight. Philly, what up, Rico? I've heard Mizzou has a great wide receiver. By the way, guys, I am live streaming after this for the game. You can watch the games along with me. I will not be showing you the game, but I'll be talking you through it, and we'll be discussing the players. I know everybody, so we watch all the games. You can sit down and watch the game at your home. Watch it with me, and I'll provide commentary. I'm better than the guys on TV. Put the shit on mute and listen to me. Trust. Philly says, what up, Rico? I've heard Missouri has a great wide receiver, but don't know anything about him. Can you share any thoughts? Yeah, Luther Burden III. Now, they also have a couple wide receivers committed to them as well, but Philly, the guy you're talking about, Luther Burden III, he's about 5'11", 180, 190 pounds. He's a speed demon. He's fast. He was a 5-star kid who stayed home, stayed in state, and he can just take the top off of the defense. He'll beat you deep. So anytime you watch Missouri, they're scoring a ton because of Luther Burden. They give it to him in handoffs and jet sweeps and things of that nature. Give him a screen. Give him some space. Let him do his thing. He's good. He's a lot better than most people you're going to see on the field. And with Brady Cook cooking, they're cooking. Shout out to Missouri for being undefeated, ranked in the top 25, at least my top 25. I like what they're doing. So they got a bye this week. Oh, no, they're there. They are 23. They're playing Vandy. My bad. That's MVP. Eat 'em up, cats. What up, Jake Bostic? How many years is Texas State away from winning the conference and getting a decent bowl game? Holy smokes. Let's just do one thing at a time, man. They look good. I don't try to predict the future like that. Let's see what happens with other teams. Let's see what happens with them. Every offseason is a chance to rebuild your roster, get better players. They're taking back Texas, though. I love what G.J. Kinney's doing. I love what Texas State did this offseason. They do that again, they're going to be contenders next year. Rico, what do you think about the Packers versus Lions predictions? I don't even know. I didn't know they were playing. I don't watch the NFL. I don't have a fucking clue about those teams. I mean, I do. but I don't. Right? I know that the Packers were hapless last week and losing 17-0 and got lucky due to an injury and won the game. I think Jordan Love's good. Let's go eat some kneecaps. I don't know, bro. Enjoy that game. I'm not watching that. I won't watch it. I'll rather watch a college game with 30 people in my live stream. I'm not even joking. Roll Tide. Shout out to Mateo. Let's go, Top. What up? Cool Ocello. What up, man? Let's go, Rico. Congratulations. Thank you guys so much. Hey, congrats on the car and military retirement, Rico. That's huge. Pause. You don't have to pause when you say that's huge. That's what she said. Congrats, Rico. Killing it. Pause. No, I'm killing it. We're cool. USFL and XFL merger is approved. Yes, it is, Armis. I made a video on it. I just don't like that they're trying to become the United States Football League or Spring Football League. Yeah. The Football League. What is it called? Some shit. The Spring Football League. Yeah, the National Spring Football League. Not safe for life. It's nuts. It's gross. Just call it the UXFL or something. Ex-USFL. How about that? Ex-USFL. Rocky Howard, shout out to you. When you do good things for people, good things will happen to you. Congrats, Rico. Thank you so much. I believe in karma. CIF about to take 45 days. CIF was cleared 2 years ago. Cool story, Cello. I cleared CIF 2 years ago. Juan Barrera, shout out to you. MVP package. Walked in there with no clearing papers. Said, hey, I'm a first sergeant. I want to turn in all my gear. Turned it all in. I already did all my VA appointments, guys. I've already done my phase 2 physical. I have been prepared for retirement for a long time. I'm ready to go. You don't understand. It's not going to take long to clear. I'm going to get it done in 3 days. I'm going to walk into offices and say, sign this, sign this. Everything's been turned in and cleared. I've been done for a while. What up, W, Rico? Shout out to you. I'm happy for you, Rico. Thank you so much. Great work, Rico. Boss. Congrats, Rico. Congratulations, Rico. Happy that you're moving forward in your life and doing things you love. Thank you. Her name's Kim. Congratulations, Rico. Appreciate your service. Enjoy your retirement. Keep the locks rolling in. Who's winning tonight? Brandon Landis, rewind the show. What are your thoughts this year on Graham Mertz this season, and how does he do against Kentucky? Thank you for your service. You know, Bellamy, it's really impressed me what Mertz has done the last 2 weeks. He shows up. He looks accurate. It's like they fixed him. It's weird. I don't know if he's going to revert back to struggling or what, but he looks really good. It might be because 8 guys are in the box trying to stop the run because, you know, Florida's got great running backs, but Mertz looks accurate, converting on third down, doing things I didn't expect him to do. But he's still not throwing over 18 times a game. At least he shouldn't be. I think he's only good for 18 attempts a game if you want to win the game. Them against Kentucky, I like Kentucky's offense, but, man, does that Devin Leary kid just stink it up. I tried to tell everybody Devin Leary was bad, and then they kept trying to convince me he was good all offseason, and then they finally did convince me in about August. But I promise you, if you go find old videos of me talking about Kentucky, oh, it can't be good. I'm like, this guy's not it. He's an upgrade from Will Levis, though. Andrew Herrera says, I'm from the West Coast, and I've never seen a North Texas game. Holy shit. Since I've been listening to you, I'm probably going to watch North Texas versus ACU this weekend. So, yeah, Abilene Christian's a very good team. They have 3 running backs that transferred in from the Power 5. Like, that's what people don't understand. Some of these FCS teams knocked it out the park with transfers. Abilene Christian has a decent team. Shout out to them. And North Texas, well, they're going to put up 30, 40 points. They're exciting. Their offense is exciting. And Eric Morris, the North Texas head coach, former Washington State offensive coordinator. He was Cam Ward's offensive coordinator last year. And before that, well, he was at UIW tearing it up as a head coach. North Texas is going to be a high-scoring team for the next as long as Eric Morris is the head coach, they're going to be able to score points, just like G.J. Kinney and Texas State. Going to the Tulsa versus Temple game tonight, Rico, got to go tell Braylon he needs to transfer if they're not going to give him touches because he's too electric to not touch the rock. Shout out to J to the B. If you guys don't know what he's talking about, there's 2 Braylons at Tulsa. One's Braylon Braxton, the starting quarterback, who's injured, so he's not playing right now. He is a very good dual-threat quarterback. The other Braylon is Braylon Presley, and that is Brennan Presley's little brother. Now, Brennan is the star wide receiver and one of the top playmakers at Oklahoma State. But both Presley brothers went to Bixby, and Bixby's won like 9 state titles in a row, or 7 out of the last 9 years. Something crazy in Oklahoma. Bixby is amazing football. And Braylon Presley, the little brother, he's small. He's 5'7", 170. Braylon Presley never lost a game in high school. 4 state titles in a row. Looks like Barry Sanders. On tape, the best huddle film I've seen in the last 2-3 years. Incredible, Braylon Presley. But he went to Oklahoma State last year, and they didn't give him playing time. They said he was too small to play running back, wanted to move him to slot. Now he transferred, left his brother, left Oklahoma State, and he transferred to Tulsa. He's been at Tulsa, and they're giving him no playing time. They gave him like 1 carry, 1 play. This is a guy we've seen be so explosive with the ball in his hand, and nothing's happening. So this man saying he's going to go talk to him and tell Braylon Presley it's time to transfer. Check him out. There he is. 5 carries, 17 yards, 3.4 yards a carry, nothing. And then let's go see receptions. 3 receptions, 54 yards. I'm telling you, he's slippery. He's nice. He's one of the greatest high school football players in Oklahoma history. He really is. He's amazing and can't get no love. So this gentleman says, I'm going to tell him to go transfer. That's funny. Hope you're there to watch, some of the other players on the team, as far as I'm concerned. When I look at what they can do. Kendarian Ray on Tulsa, Kendarian Ray, must-see TV. I really recommend Kendarian Ray to all of you guys. That guy's worth watching. Number 1 on defense for Tulsa tonight. It's a great defense. 6'3", 200 pounds, free safety. Range. Hits like a truck. Everything about Kendarian Ray is nice. He just got a little injured, got a little a bone contusion, deep thigh contusion, a thigh bruise, but he's still playing with it. He's great. If Lamar Jackson doesn't need an agent, Rico don't need a stinking agent. Shout out to you, Dallas Cowboy for life. I appreciate you. It's a little different. I'm not an athlete out there for everybody to see. Some people don't even know I exist, which is crazy. But we'll just keep growing organically and independently. Don't worry. My pockets are deep, bro. My pockets are deep. I'm straight. I just don't want nobody taking my money. That's all. Agents are a dime a dozen. Yeah, every guy gets to just walk up and say, I'm an agent. Earl Calloway. Anthony Sturdivant. There we go. Right, Rico? Get your likes in. Get this guy a bag. There we go. From all the bigger bags y'all been getting. I live in Texas and haven't figured out how to sports bet. Shout out to you, Eric Bittner. All I need is a like on the show. Before you guys jump in the show, you just hit the like button. Once you're in the show, though, you can't hit the like button anymore. You have to leave it, hit like, and then come back in. And all you guys on TikTok watching me, I could use all those likes. If you guys would just hit the link, come join us on YouTube, and give me a like, we'd be straight. The likes help the channel grow. And we're growing. We're going to hit 10,000. I wanted to hit 10,000 before November 15th. We might hit 10,000 before Monday. What up? MVPs are in here. Yeah, they are, Edmund. Every day. I tell any hater, come join the live stream and talk to the MVPs. They're all here. Come talk to an MVP. To all the MVPs, much love. Rico Knows. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much, Willie Bobo. What up, Matt? Congratulations. You think Tulsa will win? Tulsa has the defense to win. Tulsa has the defense to win. They don't have the offense to win. Their offense is atrocious. So this is why I don't know if Tulsa can win that game. Because I think Temple has offense. So unless Tulsa can run the ball and get it, either way, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. If it's high-scoring, that's news to me because I don't see Tulsa ever being a high-scoring team. They just don't have it in them. They don't got the offense. And I'm looking at Temple. They put up 22 on Akron. Or 24 on Akron. They're about equivalent. Akron and Tulsa are about equivalent. It just feels like a low-scoring game to me. I think the over-under was 50. Was it 50? Somebody tell me. Oh, let me check here. I got it. Temple, Tulsa, 55? How are they getting to 55? Somebody tell me how these guys are getting to 55. That's wild to me. 55 sounds like I don't know how they get there. I'm taking that under all day. And it just seems like 140 is not a bad bet for Temple. I like Temple to upset Tulsa and hit the under as well. I know it sounds crazy, but I just look at Tulsa and I'm like, they have no offense. I love their defense. They have no offense. They don't even play Braylon Presley. I don't know what they're doing. Rico, can you talk about Tennessee Tech being graded as the 4th best defense in all of FCS despite being 1-3 with very little production? No, I cannot, Anthony, because I only follow FBS level programs, not FCS. I know nothing about it. Thank you for that little tidbit of information. I don't know about grading either. I don't trust grades. I didn't give the grade. All grades are subjective. Good afternoon, Rico. What up, Breaking? I regretfully announce the Carter Bradley Heisman campaign has ended. Steven Schultz is a Carter Bradley fan. If you don't know, that's the starting quarterback for South Alabama. Every day he comes in, or every Thursday, he says, the Carter Bradley Heisman campaign starts this weekend. It is not starting, bruh. The official Carter Bradley Davey O'Brien Award campaign starts now. There he goes. He's going to get, the best quarterback award. Blunts or Paper Podcast. Shout out to DJ, one of my former players. If you see him, he calls me coach. I coached him in football. What up, man? Coach, I heard your Utah take. Isn't the starter coming back for this game? Yeah, he doesn't play defense. The issue is not Cam Rising. The issue is not that. The issue is do they line up and really beat the brakes off of Oregon State? Like, do they beat them to the point where they take their will from them? I just don't know. I don't know. I feel like Oregon State's the better team. And if I'm wrong, that'll be the last time I doubt Utah. Till next week. I just don't like it. I don't like a team winning games. Like Utah beating UCLA 14-7, but they scored on a pick 6 on the first play of the game. That means they spent the rest of the game and they only scored 1 touchdown against UCLA, who they're not known for their defense. Is G.J. Kinney coaching at Texas State next year, or does he get a better offer? We'll find out, Derek. I'm not a fortune teller. A&M should hire him. I think he's amazing. Does South Carolina replicate last year versus Tennessee? No, Alex Bluck. No, they're not going to replicate that. But I feel like South Carolina's got a chance with Spencer Rattler throwing that ball around. I really do. And Xavier Leggett, like that dude's open everywhere. So I like South Carolina's offense. Tennessee's offense is anemic. It's atrocious. It does nothing. Sunbelt got amazing running backs. 3 of the top 5 leading leaders in rushing yards. Yeah, so before the season started, I told the entire world, Sunbelt as a conference has better running backs than some of these Power 5 schools, than some of these Power 5 programs. And I'm not joking. Sunbelt's running backs are great. They're great. Rasheen Ali, Kermani Vidal. Like, if you go look at it's a who's who of running backs. We got Webb here. Louisiana's got just doing a ton of rushing. But talent-wise, Webb's an amazing running back. Ali's an amazing running back. George Southern's the best passing offense in the country. Sunbelt's just got so much going on. Nate Noel. And then you have, what's his name? The junior? Frank Gore Jr. running here. Texas State. They have Mahadi running his ass off. It's just, what great offenses. What great running backs. It's really cool. Totally agree. Tennessee and other SEC teams are completely there off reputation. 100%. 100%. Shout out to James Conde for becoming an MVP. Congratulations, James. You won't regret it, man. When does the MVP data get released? So, Eric Carolina, MVP data gets released when I create it. So, I'll explain. The lines come out on Sunday. I'm usually pretty busy on Sunday, and it's hard to analyze all 100 games or 70 games every week, right? So it's hard to get through them and dig through them, but I do my best. And I usually get out the MVP list by Sunday night or Monday morning. And then we have open discussions about it. People write me comments, whatever, and I keep updating it and upgrading it all week. No big deal. But then on Thursdays, like tonight, I give my assessment on the games for Thursday, and I'll do a TikTok video, go over the game, whatever, give my take, whatever, and then I'll do an MVP video. And the MVP video is much more in-depth, explaining the decisions I make and why I make them, and showing you the rosters and talking about different matchups and things. And then I'll probably pick 1 or 2 games, not all of them, and say these are MVP locks. Like, this is my assessment on this, whatever. Then Saturday morning, we're doing an MVP-only live stream, just like this show here, but only for MVPs. And then they can sit down with the chart in front of them. I'm going to pull it up on the screen just like I'm doing now, and they can discuss all the locks and ask me their questions because they have so many questions in my DMs. And I think that when one person has a question, I believe multiple MVPs have the same question. And we talk about a betting strategy and kind of how they want to go about their day and what they want to try to achieve that day. Some guys win big early, and just stop. More power to them. Some guys win big and try to win bigger at the rest of the day. But, I don't recommend parlays. I recommend just sitting down and winning with the pure odds and the numbers. But that's kind of how it works with MVPs. They get the data early. There's a whole MVP playlist for only MVPs, and we rock it from there. They can just go check the playlist or keep the bell on, and they'll find it. And every now and then I'll just make a video. When an injury happens, I make a video immediately and let the MVPs know, hey, this guy's not starting this week. Stay away from that line. Or, vice versa. Stuff like that. Just stopping by to show support to your channel. Thank you so much, Steph. I appreciate you. What you think of Tulsa and Temple. Rewind the show. Their uniforms. Yeah. I love the Texas State team total over, or the quarterback pass yard over. Southern Miss has lost 3 DBs. Yeah, that sounds like MVP level data there, Cameron Lowe. We're not talking about that in public. If it's an MVP lock game of any sort, I don't talk about overs, unders, individual personnel or nothing, but I appreciate the input. Edwin Serrano, you think Oregon State gets 240-plus passing yards? That doesn't sound right, and that doesn't sound like an SEC Sunbelt game. Congratulations on retirement, Rico. The next phase of your life is going to be legendary. Thank you, Maddie. We were doing a walk the other night. Kim and I, we walk the neighborhood every night with our dog, and we were walking, and I just looked at her, and I said, I've been around so many famous people in my life. Like, I really have. And I've been around I've been this close to famous people every day. Growing up, went to school with them, know them in life, whatever it is. I said, I think I'm supposed to be that. I think I'm supposed to be that way. I think I'm supposed to be famous. I think I'm supposed to make it. Guys, I have an unhealthy amount of self-confidence. I really think I'm going to be fine. I think one day they're going to know about me. All of them. They can pretend they don't know about me now, but they're going to know about me. MVP bets are going to cook this weekend. They look good, right? BP the Great, they look good. We'll see what happens. Love error finding. Love it. Yeah, I put errors in every video. Rico, bruh, 10-13, Mill Creek, and Buford. You should pull up. Love that you found a way to make the MVP content readable. Keep pushing, my guy. Thank you, Christopher Stowers. If you guys don't know, Mill Creek and Buford played last year. 2 of the best teams in America. They play in 7A football here in Georgia. This is the highest level. Mill Creek has studs. Buford has studs. I think Mill Creek can win that game, which is shocking everybody, but it's about to go down. Should I go to the game? Maybe. What do you think about the spread of 6.5 on A&M and Arkansas? I think it's fine. I think it's dangerous. It's a coin flip. I wouldn't go either way. I wouldn't touch the game. You don't know enough about the teams to pick on this game. It's a coin flip game. You guys don't need to bet every game. I wouldn't bet every game. That's period. My TikTok full of people trying to give advice like Rico, but if it isn't Rico himself, it can't be trusted. This is a fact. I think a lot of people do that. They think that they can duplicate what I'm doing. I see kids hating on me doing it all the time. There's a guy in his basement right now making predictions and doing things, and it's fine. Keep doing it, but it's not the same. J-Lo says, congrats on your retirement. How much of a factor is weather when looking at SEC teams playing away games outside of their normal game conditions? Overblown variable or legit concern? I don't even worry about it. I look at matchups. I don't care about the weather. When I make my assessment, I believe that receiver is better than that corner in any condition, right? I just believe these teams are better than that team in any condition. You might think of over and under that way, but when I'm thinking about spreads, I'm thinking about, are you better than this other team by that much? I don't worry about weather too much. Not in September. November, we can talk. September, nah. I don't miss all that much. I haven't seen a single miss due to weather. Ryan Mott, congratulations. Rico, can Auburn pull the upset in Jordan-Hare? They can. They're there. They're playing. I don't think it's likely. They can do it, though. I heard let me say something to you guys. I was watching a live stream last night. Tyler Budge, CF Budge. Good kid, making his content, doing his thing. His YouTube's really small. I think he's only got like 300 subscribers. So I'm watching his show, just trying to support. And I saw on his show, he said, hey, guys, I called this upset this offseason, so I got to stick with it. He goes, you got to take your shots. And he said, I think Auburn's going to win. If you want to just do that kind of shit, like, it's cool. I hope it works. But we got to hold you accountable when it doesn't, right? You don't get to say Auburn's going to beat Georgia and there'd be no consequences. If I was to say Auburn's beating Georgia, there'd be immense amount of consequences if I was wrong. But I could go say the wildest thing and hope it hits. So I look like Nostradamus, but I don't do that. And I know everybody thought I was a contrarian and was saying wild things all offseason when I was like, Duke's beating Clemson, Texas State's beating Baylor, Colorado's beating TCU. Nobody believed me, but I was right on all those. I'm just not that kind of guy. I don't say shit for shock. I'm not a shock value. I like to be right. So, yeah, can Auburn beat Georgia? Yes, they can. Georgia has not faced a good team all season. Auburn's a good, talented team. They're not intimidated. They want to be there. It's just Auburn's quarterback play is the worst I've seen. There's no way. There's just no way. In my mind. Can Middle Tennessee State quarterback Nick Viado go shot for shot against Austin Reed? No. He has played well this year despite opening with Bama and Mizzou this year. Yeah, he's played really good. He looks like a gunslinger. But 2 games ago, Jaden Creedle is the one who carried the team. He rushed for 140-something yards. And then, yeah, he played good this last game. Nick V is fine. He's tough. I don't think he's as good as Austin Reed or on any level. How do I become a member? My goodness. Go watch the channel. You want to know how to become a member? JFC? Go to my homepage on TikTok or YouTube. There's a video that will play if you go to YouTube's autoplay and teach you how to do it. TikTok, it's pinned. Do you think Devontae Adams will be on the Browns? I have no clue. I didn't know what team he's on right now. B. Peck says, Reuben Owens would have went crazy at Louisville. I'm a salty Louisville fan. Yeah, man. He's a stud. He's a stud. I love joining the MVP family. Love it here. Shout out to you, Jeremy Ham. We love having you here, man. Why do you think Dylan Raiola wants to play for Georgia when they have a terrible passing attack and their receivers are not close to elite? Well, the reality is when you're recruiting players, you pitch them your pro pedigree or you pitch them your recent success. And it's really hard to argue against Stetson Bennett's numbers, back-to-back national championships, and then who are you comparing him to? Who else was a finalist for Raiola? Nebraska, because my uncle works there? Like, that's not comparable. So you win. You get the guy. What they have a bad track record of doing is developing quarterbacks, but then you got to convince Mike Bobo or tell somebody Mike Bobo can't do it. And Bobo convinced Gunnar Stockton to go there, right? That's why Gunnar Stockton flipped from South Carolina to Georgia. Gunnar Stockton was committed to South Carolina with Bobo. Bobo flips to Georgia. Gunnar Stockton flips. Just doesn't make any sense because you're not going to be able to play there. Brock Vandagriff just went the year before. And there's Carson Beck. And now Gunner's there, and he's finding himself third string, and Gunner could have been starting by now at another school, at any school. He's a good player. But you're on the bench. Who's winning tonight? Rewind the show. When people ask what you do for a living, do you tell them you're a millionaire maker? Diego Hernandez. Nobody really asks what I do for a living, but if they do, I say I'm a content creator. I say I'm a full-time content creator. They kind of look at me, don't believe it's true. The lady at the bank knows what I do, man. The lady at the bank knows me. They're always trying to get me to open other accounts and want to give me croissants and shit. I don't know what they're trying to do with me. I don't like them like that. While that Missouri wide receiver you were talking about sounds like a future Chief. Slow down. Rico, thoughts on Terry Bussey committing to A&M a little bit ago today. Oh. Congratulations. Everybody tells me he's fast and he's very good at football. He's a 5-star receiver. I don't care who you commit to verbally. I don't even care where you sign because you're going to transfer eventually. What I can tell you is my assessment of his film, I have not been impressed, Ricky. Everybody's mad at me because I watched this film, and you can read the comments in the film when I watch it. It's under my high school film review playlist. I just did not see a great player. I see a kid who has no real, I don't know. I just didn't see a great player. I saw a 4-star kid who didn't look right. They tell me he's 5 stars, Mr. Football, all this shit, and I'm just like, not impressed by that one. Seeing him go to A&M and not to Texas or, some of these other decisions, I'm not surprised. He didn't look great. He didn't look great to me, not on tape. And that's me being real. What are your thoughts on Xavier Leggett from USC, from South Carolina? Yeah, man. He's a great player. He's getting it done. He's overachieving, and he's filling the void that Jaheim Bell left. And obviously missing Wells and what they needed, it's fine. They're doing great. One thing I will say, I forgot to talk about it, is Michael Trigg. I keep wanting to make the video. Ole Miss losing Michael Trigg and their DB. It's just teams are going to just get rid of guys. And Caden Priorscorn, the transfer from Memphis, who came over to Ole Miss, he was injured the first couple weeks. Trigg's losing his spot to that guy. And that's why Trigg quit the team or left. One of the two. At least that's how I feel, right? You get transfers, they come and take your job. When you see a guy like Xavier Leggett not worry about transfers, guys like Knox coming in from Arkansas, he's not worried about who's the tight end from Western Kentucky that came in. Forgetting his name right now, and I shouldn't. I don't like not getting that right. Give me a second here. I'll pull it up. Remember, I always keep our lads open. South Carolina. Let's pull it up so we can talk about it. So what South Carolina did this offseason is they lost a bunch of players. But if you look here, there it is. Trey Knox and Joshua Simon. That's who I was talking about. And they even brought in Nick from Florida. South Florida or Florida? South Florida. One of the team. But anyways, these two right here, fighting for reps and targets, and out of nowhere, Xavier Leggett's taking all the red zone targets. And last year, it was Jaheim Bell taking a bunch of stuff. And it's just nice to see them shift to wide receivers. I want to see Eddie Lewis be more in the rotation. Eddie Lewis, the transfer from Memphis, I believe. Good wide receiver. Good return man. I just want to see him more in the rotation. Did they say he's a return man down here? Yeah, they got him down here. But it's nice to see what they're doing. They're trying to figure it out. They got to give more carries to Mario Anderson Jr. That's a 1,400-yard rush from Division II. I'd like to see him get more carries. He's getting more in recent weeks, but man, I don't know what's wrong with this box. It's been messing up when I move and adjust. But yeah, man, South Carolina's making the most of what they can. So shout out to them. I like what they're doing. They're trying their best. Shout out to Bola Till I Swag. I don't even know what the hell that is. Balo Till I Swag. Boleto. Is that the tie? I don't know, bro. Boleto Swag. Boletti Swag. Congratulations, man. You're an MVP. I'm out the loop on that. I don't know. Which players on the 2 deep or freshmen that aren't playing a central role on their team this year will be names to watch next year and moving forward? Well, that's a loaded question for a couple of reasons. I don't know what team you're asking about. I don't know what conference you're asking about, right? So, because I'm talking about SEC and Sunbelt. But what I will tell you is that there's going to be a ton of players that aren't currently in the 2 deep that will not be doing anything for their current team. They will be transferring. If you guys remember, this is how the transfer portal works. In the winter, guys will declare to enter the transfer portal. You're going to see superstars, overachievers, all conference players jumping in the portal to go to a bigger school. That's what happens in the winter. You see studs jumping in the portal to go to a bigger school. All conference guys. It's incredible. And they're going to skip out their bowl game and move to a better school, bigger school. It'll be starters. Guys you didn't expect to transfer, they're transferring. No matter who it is. It could be Luther Burden III. It could be Connor Wegman. It could be anybody hitting the portal. You have no clue in the winter. But in the spring, here's what happens. All those freshmen and sophomores who weren't in the 2 deep, who weren't starting, they stick around for spring football. Because remember, they got to school, hopefully they got to school early, but if they didn't, they got there in the summer. So they did the summer, and they're not sure where they fit in. They're on the depth chart, but they're not really sure where they fit in. Then the season starts. They don't contribute or play, and they redshirt. So they don't even know enough about the program to hate the program or to not believe in the coach or where they fit in the team. So they stay for that first spring. And they try to earn their keep. But they're competing against all these transfers that showed up from the winter. And those transfers are wanted and desired by the coaching staff. And you have this recruiting class of players who just kind of stick around and are in no man's land, and they're trying to beat out these guys. And they can't because they're better. They're more mature. They're more skilled. Then there are spring exit meetings. And this is when all the players start writing me DMs. There are spring exit meetings. And in those exit meetings, coach sits them down and says, hey, you're not part of our plan moving forward. Sorry, man, you're not going to make it. We're going to pull. And they're not pulling their scholarship. They're just not renewing the scholarship. So you were on the team, you were playing, and then they just go, nope, we're not going to renew your scholarship. You're not losing your scholarship for athletic reasons, which is an NCAA rule, and you're not being cut. We're just not renewing it. You can continue to play on the team if you want. You don't have a scholarship. And in some cases, if you get a new coach, they can keep you on the school. It's an NCAA rule. I made a video about it. They can keep you at school, and you can keep your academic scholarship, but you can't play football anymore. USC did this to 10 players when Lincoln Riley got hired. Coach Prime did it to 2 players who didn't want to play football anymore but wanted to keep their scholarship and finish their degree. Usually it happens to like juniors who just got a couple school classes left. You can't play football anymore. And anybody else who wants to keep playing football has to jump in the portal. And this is why 60% of the spring transfer portal entries are redshirt freshmen. Because they're the kids who redshirted their first year, and then they're considered a recruiting miss, and the coach just cuts them and says, you're out of here. While all the websites, ESPN and all the talking heads, hide behind it and go, oh, why are all these kids jumping in the portal? Oh, they don't want to compete. Oh, it's musical chairs. They're losing their seat. And they just keep selling this bullshit when it's the coaches pushing players to the portal. Okay? Coach Prime isn't the only guy who pushed 50 to the portal. Ole Miss pushed 30. Bama pushed 20. I'm telling you, people get pushed to the portal because they're considered recruiting misses. Marcus Washington did 1 year at Georgia and got pushed to the portal. There's one guy, this kid named Brown. He signed with Mississippi State. He got their early enrollee in the winter. They pushed him to the portal that spring. This year, true freshman. Early enrollee, went to the exit meeting for the spring, and they said, hey, you're out of here. He's now at Georgia Tech. His father wrote me immediately. It's a cold world, but everybody needs to stop thinking these players are going to the portal because they can't compete and don't want to be there. Not happen. There's even an A&M player that tried to open the bag on this, and they pulled him back to the university. When he entered the transfer portal, people were like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're doing it. Is this linebacker?" And he wrote on Instagram, he says, "I'm not leaving by choice." That's all he wrote. I'm not leaving by choice. These players are not telling the truth to the public because they don't want to burn any bridges. If a player goes out there and says, this team made me go to the portal, I don't even want to go, da-da-da-da-da, you burned a bridge, and no other coaches are going to want to sign you. Nope, because you're focused on the wrong stuff. It's a bullshit game, bro, and the players lose. And the coaches will cut you, send you to the portal, and then have a press conference and say, the portal's ruining college football. Look at this, I can't even maintain my roster. We don't need windows open this long. This is what Lane Kiffin and all these other coaches are talking about, but they use the portal every day to cut players and send them away. And then they're going to still sign 25 from high school no matter what. They're still going to get their 25 recruits. And that limit was lifted this year, but it's going to be back. It was only for 2 years the limit was lifted. I could go on forever on this shit. Do you think Max Johnson at quarterback, that the tight end room will get more utilization this game? Eric Bittner, obviously his brother is his tight end. He's going to throw it to him. They have continuity. They know what they're doing. I hope that Max Johnson doesn't lock in on him and he actually does his progression reads and does his best. But, yeah, that's probably going to happen, right? It's probably going to happen. Jake Postic says, I love the Take Back Texas model. Don't we all? Shout out to Texas State. Texas State made it very clear. G.J. Kinney said there's a lot of kids who leave the state of Texas. They go play at Oklahoma. They go play at Tulsa. They go play anywhere. A lot of kids want to come back home. They're not getting playing time in those other schools. Just let me know where you live. Let me know that you want to come back home. We got a spot for you. And they got 3 kids from Oklahoma right off the rip. They're real. I love what they're doing. Take it back. They got Drew Donnelly from Cincinnati because they were taking back Texas. Drew Donnelly, White Lightning, bro. He's amazing. Stupid fast. Love what he's doing. Get this man likes. We're at 12 right now. Come on. Eric Bittner, you might have something frozen on your screen. We got more than 12, but I feel you. Thank you so much. Maddie says, come on, people, stop being lazy asses and like the video. Rico has put in hours and hours and hours of work. It only takes 10. It don't even take 10 seconds. Juan Barrera, congratulations. You're an MVP. Get it. Get that money. When's your last day? 30 November. Diego Hernandez, my official retirement date is December 1st. 30 November is my last day. Thoughts on Florida versus Kentucky? My thoughts are that Kentucky got a more explosive offense, but they've been very underwhelming, and Florida has the potential to win that game. It's a 50-50 at this point, Travis Short. But Kentucky has receivers I believe in. Get them the rock. Figure it out. Barron Brown's him. I like Kentucky, but Florida can win that game. Where do you click the likes at? William Darnell, you got to leave the show, and there's a thumb button. There's a like button before you get in, before you hit enter. And we are back. Day 4 MVP coming soon, brother. Hey, I feel you. Give me a second here. Chat just jumped on me. I'll catch back up. You have to leave the chat, hit it out, thumbs it up. There you go. Then come back in. Shout out Troy transfer quarterback Quay Hawkins at Abilene Christian right now. There you go, Evan Kramer. Georgia should beat Auburn worse than AMU, right? When you're comparing two things, THAN. Would be real scary if they couldn't. Love the content. Thank you for your service, Rico. Theoretically, yeah. Theoretically, yes. But Auburn at the same time might be up for this game. A lot of the Auburn players are from Georgia. So it's a rivalry game. They know these guys. They played from high school together. They know one another. It's just a different entity. There's no... I don't know how we can even say Georgia's better than A&M. I don't know what logic you're using to make that determination. I haven't seen Georgia play anybody. I have no way of knowing they're any good. I just watched them give up 21 points to UAB. That's all I know. They gave up 21 points to UAB. Yo, I actually grew up in Oklahoma and had the honor of playing against Braylon and Brennan and the Heritage Hall stud wide receiver Gavin Freeman in high school. There you go. Shout out to you, J to the B. Sounds like you lost a lot of games. Congratulations. They won't be high scoring unless they give Braylon Presley the ball. There it is. Everybody believes in Braylon Presley if you're in Oklahoma. Turn off chat, then tap the screen. Like button shows up. Hit the tap again to rejoin. It's like that. Shout out to Kevin Weaver for teaching people. Hate to break it to the Steven, but Gunnar Watson getting that Davey O'Brien award over Carter Bradley. Shout out to you. Shout out to you two knuckleheads for arguing over two guys who aren't winning the Davey O'Brien award. Thank you for explaining how to give it a like while in chat. Turn off chat, then tap the screen. Like button shows up, hit like, and you're good to go. Eric Bittner says, if Elko is done by Jimbo's departure, you think GJ Kinney, would be a good replacement, or would he be underqualified? So, just so we're aware, Eric Bittner, when Group of 5 head coaches get hired, it is from a Group of 5 coordinator or Power 5. When Power 5 head coaches get hired, it's from a Power 5 coordinator or another Power 5 program. It is very rarely a Group of 5 coach. He would have had to be successful for many years. Shout out to Luke Fickell, right? Hugh Freeze. You're just not going to get hired if you're a Group of 5 head coach. You got to be a coordinator. It's just a good old boy network among the Power 5 teams. So I think it's very unlikely that G.J. Kinney gets hired for that job. Shout out to James Conde for becoming an MVP again. Day, with the new conference realignments, which conference coming soon do you think is the strongest, and do you think it's bad for the game? I don't care if it's bad or good for the game. It's not my call. It's just happening. I think TV contracts are evil, but the Big Ten is the best conference moving forward. They have better teams. They're better top to bottom. It's not even close. If you took the best player from each Sunbelt team and made a roster, would they be ranked top 10? They would dominate any team. Bane Allen. They would dominate any team in America. What up, Rico? This is my first comment as an MVP. Shout out to you, Malik. Glad to be here. Tried to thug it out and study the game on my own, but it ain't easy. You're the man to go for real. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, man. Put in work. Keep studying, though. Which coach would be able to replace Jimbo that would not break his record of transfers from last year? He didn't set a record. Arkansas had more transfers. He didn't set a record. He just lost a lot of transfers. He didn't set no record. Just making that clear. So your picks for tonight. Rewind the show. Let's go. Who wins tonight? Rewind the show. All you guys showing up sound ridiculous. Texas versus Kansas. Ain't got shit to do with today. Hugh Freeze was very shocked to learn that Kirby made it to the Natty his second year at UGA. Very much so. UGA covers this week. Who wins tonight? Lions or Packers? The fans, because we don't have to watch that shit. UGA doesn't have a terrible passing attack. They don't. Right? They have a terrible pedigree for getting receivers the ball. That's what it really comes down to. Raiola made a mistake picking UGA over USC and Lincoln Riley as quarterback U. That's a fact. Lincoln Riley gets quarterbacks to the NFL. He does. Do you think Jimbo is washed? I'm assuming that means like he's not good, because I don't know if he took a shower or not. He looks clean. I'd assume he's clean. He's wealthy. But, like, whitewashed? I don't know. Does he need a tan? I'm confused, Pineda. I've never liked Jimbo Fisher as a coach, though. Ever. Any shot Auburn beats Georgia? Yeah, they're playing each other. Rico, am I crazy to think Max Johnson is one of the top quarterbacks in the SEC? No, you're not crazy, Trent. The SEC has terrible quarterback play. You're not crazy. Let's see what he does. Another awesome show today. Keep it rolling. Catch at the watch party. Shout out to you, Rick. Appreciate it. Simon. Thank you, Calvin Weaver. Calvin Weaver knew who I was talking about. Glad that Troy got Deshaun Stoudemire more involved this week. Always thought he was our best wide receiver last year. Yeah, I don't know if that's true. Tez was obviously the best wide receiver last year, or at least the most explosive. Okay, there we go. Don't talk crazy. What's your thoughts on Tennessee now and in the future? Now, very underwhelming. In the future, we'll see. I like Josh Heupel. I like their quarterback. They're fine. Dom Hale says, congratulations, bro. Thank you so much. When will Kentucky be ranked? When they win enough games to be ranked. Dolan Holker for Mackey Award. Hey, Kerry Reynolds. There's a guy at LSU people like. There's guys everywhere. But, yeah, Dolan Holker's a good player. Doesn't play in these conferences, so we won't talk about it. Thoughts on Jaden Henry out of Colgate. Not an FBS school. I don't follow Colgate. I know the MVP picks for week 1 next year will be crazy. Hey, Cade Bearden. Don't get too far ahead, but yes, next year's MVP picks, week 1, we will be destroying some spreads. Vegas will try to tell you they're 20-point dogs, and I will tell you we are right, and they are wrong, just so we know. Thoughts on Louisville versus Notre Dame? Not talking about it. It's not an SEC or Sunbelt question. Texas State is 5.5. Still like or a trap? That's an MVP level question. We'll not have that out in public. Heads up for you, Rico. Whenever Stoops decides to leave Kentucky, John Summerall going back there as the head coach. Okay. Shout out to you, Evan Kramer. I want to be a football analyst when I grow up. Any advice? Yeah, man. Grow up. Grow up and live a lot of life. Experience a lot of shit. How do I get MVP? Rewind or go to the homepage. Watch the video. Tez had bad locker room energy. Fair. How do I get MVP thread? Once again, watch the video on the homepage. Do you think Raiola would have beat out Malachi Nelson in a quarterback battle if he chose USC? Don't think SC believes in Malachi, just a gut feeling. I don't care. I don't worry about freshmen trying to beat each other out. If somebody's going to transfer and never play for the school. If I sat here and talked about every freshman that is never going to play for a team, what the hell are we doing? Like, I'd be talking about 300 kids you never heard of. I don't understand it. I don't even get the hype behind getting excited about a 5-star recruit. He doesn't play for you. He's not going to play for you. Let's get excited about the dudes in the 2 deep. Anybody I should watch from Temple while I'm at this Temple versus Tulsa game? Yeah, E.J. Warner, quarterback. Kurt Warner's son. Gets the ball every single play. Watch him. Raiola was never going to USC. I need a Rico Knows banner to fly at some games that I go to and tailgate this year. Got to put these people on. There you go, J to the B. There are Rico Knows, all kinds of merch. You just get a shirt or a hoodie and wear it to the games. Go to ricoknows.org. ricoknows.org. We got merch for days. I didn't even know whether Georgia State is a lock or not. Is it? Dylan Usher, you are not an MVP. Why are you demanding locks from me? That's an absurd question. They're in a game against Troy. What is wrong with you? Good day, sir. Crazy, there are still people asking how to get MVP. Yeah, Andres, it happens every day, all day. It's exhausting. No, I'm talking. I go to Boulder. How long do you think Dion will stay? Bro, I talk Pac-12 on Fridays. Thanks for being here. No, I'm talking like a big flag that people can see from the football fields away. Do what you do, bruh. Do what you do. Shout out to you guys, Rico Knows. Remember, thank you guys for being here every night. Thank you guys for the support. I'll see you guys at the watch party. We will be live streaming during the games tonight. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Y'all be safe now. Gone.
I do this for my father, who I've only seen from time to time in my dreams. I do this for you. I do this for my mother, who's finally clean, no longer a fan. I do this for you. I do this for my sister, my wife and my kids, cause they part of the team. I do this for all the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside, that's why I do this for you. I do this for my father, who I've only seen from time to time in my dreams. I do this for you. I do this for my mother, who's finally clean, no longer a fan. I do this for you. I do this for my sister, my wife and my kids, cause they part of the team. I do this for all the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside, that's why I do this for you.
I do this for the kids who sit a bit outside the mix, who maybe cope through humor just to fit in for a bit, who never let the world know when depression's setting in. To all of those who know you, that impression don't exist, and it ain't counterfeit, it's just a way to counter it. I'm living things I dreamed about, I still encounter it. It ain't something that a cigarette or alcohol can fix, but all because of it, I flipped it quick, went on to write some hits. This a success, off another breath. This the first step in searching to be nothing less than be the best in what you do to prove their strength.